Hello everybody and welcome to a quick tutorial of how to get into RSLogix500 from Allen Bradley or Rockwell or whichever one you want to consider. So first things first is you need to get the free MicroStarter Lite program. You need to get the RSLinx Classic Lite, which is both of these programs are free. Then you need the RSEmulate 500, which is also free. So this is just for offline programming, but if you also want to get into getting the microcontroller and everything, I can show you how to get that and how to get the cables and everything for it and how to program it as well. So first things you want to do is you want to come to the Rockwell Automation website and you want to go to the downloads, and then there's some free downloads, which I have pulled up over here. So the free downloads from here are, you want the RSLogix500 500. I just picked any random version, and then the RSLinx Classic Lite, which is free. And so also up here in the search the PCDC, you can come up here, and if you search for it, you can get the RSLogix MicroStarter Lite without RSLinx English. And so you already have the RSLinx right here. Oops. You have the RSLinx right here, so you just download everything and you install it. So if you want to go ahead and get your own microcontroller so that you can actually turn things on and mess up with stuff in real life, which helps me a heck of a lot more than just programming it, you need to get a USB to an RS-232 serial cable, which they run about $20 to $30 for some of these. And then you also want to get the RS-232 to MicroLogix controller plug. So you get this one. So it's this cable goes into this cable, and then this cable connector down here, this goes into this. So right underneath this little tab right here with the little arrow on it, that right there, you open that up, and then it actually has a port where you can actually plug in and everything. And so you can get one of these, and these run fairly cheap. They're $200, $300, $400 sometimes, but it just depends if you want to get a 120 volt version, which these three little ports right here, see these little slots? This first slot right here, the second slot, and the third slot. The first slot right here is where you would put your positive. Then you can like get a grounded plug, like one of those plugs with the 3 on it that stick into the wall. This is very dangerous, so you have to know exactly what you're doing first. But so don't just randomly shove this into holes and stuff, because you can die from this stuff. So do not do this unless you're absolutely sure what you're doing, or go talk to an electrician friend or call someone else or something like that that knows what they are doing. This is dangerous stuff with this electricity. But with that out of the way, this first port right here will be the positive. The second one will be your neutral, and the third one will be your ground. So you would, let's say you go out to Goodwill or something and you buy a drill that has a grounded plug or something like that. And so you cut off the wire, and then you pull back the wire a little ways. And so you have these 3 leads, which is 3 separate wires. There's usually a black, a white, and a green for America. And then for, I think, Europe, it is brown, blue, and black. And so for America, or it could be red, black, and green. Green is always ground, so that will go into the third one. If you have a red and black, the red will be the positive, the black will be the neutral. Or if you have the black, white, and green, then you go black is the live, which is the L1 on here. Then there's a second one that says L2 or neutral, and then you put the white one in there. And then the third one is ground, which is you put the green one into the third one. And then you can turn this on, and then you can plug into it and everything else, but be very, very careful with this stuff. So with that out of the way, let's say you already have the downloads already downloaded and everything, and let's just go ahead, and the first thing you want is you want to turn on RSLinx Classic. I'm just going to go ahead and open up everything here. So right there, that little message, whenever I clicked on the RSEmulate, which is this little icon down here, it says failed to update the system registry and something by using regedit and stuff like that. That's into the Windows files. You don't want to go through the registry files and everything. So what you want to do is you want to right click on it again, and then you say run as administrator, which is, you just say yes on that, and then it just pops up, and there you have your emulator. And then here you have your RSLogix Micro, which for this, we're just going to create a very simple file, and let's say we just have a regular MicroLogix 1000, and we just say okay on that. So this right here, all we're going to do is communication is the hardest part about any of this, because Allen Bradley and Rockwell, they're a huge powerhouse in the world and everything, but they still don't have this stuff easily done. So the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here, and this is going to jump straight into a little bit of this, but I'm just going to come through here and I'm going to just make a new rung, and I'm just going to put a couple of things on here real quick just so that we can have something to compile. So if you already know how to do this stuff, well, this video you might want to just go ahead and skip, but since the people that don't know how to do this stuff, I'm just going to go ahead and go through this, and I'm just going to say, okay, compile. So it compiled right, and then I'm just going to go ahead and say files, save as, and then I'm just going to save it in my G. There it is, G, where I have most of everything. And I'm going to go ahead and put this as video 1. Video 1. And I'm going to save it as an RSS file. So it is saved. And so I'm going to go over here to emulate. And I'm going to open. And I'm going to go up to my G file. And I'm going to go down into video 1. I'm going to say OK on that. Destination station must be specific. Destination station is O2. So there's my O2. And so we're going to come over here to RSLinks, and there we are. We have O2. And so I am now running this file in Emulate. So that is the easiest way that I know how to get into to link these three programs together. I don't know why they're all not all in the same one. I know that you can do communication stuff in MicroStarter, but it doesn't quite work the same way for some reason or another. It has some weird registry bugs. It same works for RSLogix500, which is the brand new stuff. This stuff is like the 90s and 80s and whatnot. And you can go online, and if you want to get something more specific, you can get a, let's say you want a SLC500. Let's go for a 503, which is kind of the mid-range kind of processor, which you can get one of these kind of processors for fairly cheap. You have your run remote program. You have it tells you what's actually talking to it, if it's a DH45 or an RS232, and you can do your DH45 or your RS232 kind of pins and whatnot, which this other one right here, this one is only RS232 going to this, because this is more or less how to just mess with inputs, outputs on it, and you can mess with the statics, and you can have internal bits for logic and stuff, and you can go through timers and counters and things like that, which we can get to in other videos. But for just this sake right here, let's say for this emulator, let's say you want to do another emulator. So we just come through here and we configure the drivers. So I'm just going to go ahead and stop that one, and I'm just going to delete it. So it's gone. And so let's go through here and say, okay, configure drivers. Let's just add a new one. I want it to be an SLC500 emulator driver, DH45, but it doesn't matter. It's an emulator driver because it's going through your computer more or less for this. So I say, okay, and I want this to be an O1 for the station number, because this is running on O2 right now, O2. I want this to be running on O1. You can say 00 because that's usually the computer, but if you have an actual processor, I'd sometimes either put it as 00 or 01. It just depends. So right now this is running. So I'm going to go ahead and close that, and I'm going to come over here, and then boom, it's already here. It's already found it, like it's already attached. So it doesn't have to go off and do everything. Plus it's auto browsing, so it just finds these nodes. So you already have that running, you have your emulator running, and now you can just come through here and you go, let's just go online with this. So yes, my Windows did not appreciate that at all, so I had to restart the program. But anyways, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to just reload it, and that's also how to reload this. So next videos, I'm going to get into how to do inputs and outputs, how to label everything, how to do timers, how to do counters, and I'm just going to go through the basic things, which this processor can only do the most basic things. It can't do file transfers, and it can't do comparators, as well as like the 5000 series and Studio 5000 and stuff like that is, but it's free. So if you want to get into PLC, this is the way to do it. This is how I did it, and I'm already programming up Studio 5000, but that's because that's what I do for my work. So if you really want to just get into it, I hopefully can help you with this. And if you have any comments or anything, please leave a comment or a question or anything at all, and I'll try to answer your questions, or I'll do better in the next video or whatever. So I hope you have a good day. Bye.